Not really sure where to start with this one, guys. I think Aston Villa played very, very well. It was almost faultless. In the first half, when we were dominating, we looked like scoring almost every attack. They pulled through. And then in the second half, 3 minutes in the last 10 minutes or so, put the game to bed. Done. Done and dusted. Done. And it's so frustrating because a lot of the talk will, of course, be Arsenal bottling it, Arsenal not turning up, whatever. But actually, I think a lot of credit needs to be given to Aston Villa, so I'm giving them credit. They were absolutely fantastic today. They fully deserve to win this game. And that's twice now this season they've beaten us. They've done the double. And this man right here. Oh, God. Where do we go from here? It feels like if we lose on Wednesday, everything is just going to come crashing down. It's going to be a soul-crushing experience if we lose to Bayern. Obviously, we've got a couple of days to bounce back in training and get players going again, but I'm sure it's going to be it's going to feel horrendous in that dressing room right now, and it should, because once again we're getting into the very latter stages of the season where we've got a chance to win the title, quite literally, one of the three teams that can do it, and we're doing that, and it's just it's boring. And I think a lot of people are going to hate what I'm going to say for the next few minutes, but just hear me out, okay? Because I am, how many years am I in now? So I think I want to say I started supporting Arsenal in 99. So give or take, we're 25 years in. When I say we, I mean me. Me and Arsenal, we're 25 years in. And obviously I went through the early stages of supporting Arsenal with a lot of success. The Invincibles team, winning the league, getting to the Champions League final, all of that stuff. And then, of course, we've gone on for a decade and a half, almost 2 decades, without really much success whatsoever. FA Cup wins, Community Shields every now and again. But in general, nothing like I saw at the start. And no, I didn't support Arsenal because of the Invincibles and things like that. It was before then. So all of you saying that can shut up. But I still want to give massive, massive credit to this Arsenal team, because right now it feels more like that era than ever before. We've really got something special here. And it just sucks that once again, we're towards those final hurdles, 7 finals left in the league, and we're falling at home to Aston Villa. And again, no disrespect, because Aston Villa have been absolutely monumental this season. They're 4th for a reason. You can see the table here. And they deserve to win today. But I also don't want to be sitting here and saying, oh, it's just Arsenal again. And I'm still so proud of the team and the fact that we're even in this conversation again, considering what we're up against with Man City, who most likely will go on unbeaten now until the end of the season. It's very likely they'll win every Premier League game from now. But the thing is, it's not over yet. And I won't give up until it's mathematically over. But what I will say is, I've never once said we're going to win the league, and I'm still not going to say we're going to win the league, because it is Arsenal at the end of the day. It is in our DNA, in recent history, to do exactly what we've done today, and it's so disappointing. But I'm also trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay positive because the facts are there. This isn't over yet. Okay, let's say we go on to beat Bayern on Wednesday. Okay, so we're through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. That'll give us a nice little boost, right? And then we go into the next 2 or 3 Premier League games, whatever it is, until the next Champions League game, and we win all 3. In that time, Liverpool could drop points again, and based off what we saw today, it's very possible they will drop points again. They don't look too hot right now. Man City could drop points, they could draw, they could go on the road and lose. It's absolutely possible that it's not over yet. So until then, I'm not gonna give up. And even if we don't win the title, and if we do get knocked out against Bayern on Wednesday, or we get knocked out by City or Real Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League, whatever, I will still see this season as a step in the right direction. There's no doubt about it. Last year, we were in a similar position, but we weren't as good as we are now. there is progression. And for me, it would then go into next season being an absolute must that we win something. Absolutely have to, because if we don't, we are going to see certain players thinking, hang on, it's been a good few years whilst we're doing all right, we're still not winning anything. You know, you are starting to get into that territory where your best players will be thinking, maybe it ain't going to happen here, and I don't even want to think about that. Can you imagine players like Ødegaard and Saka, and probably at that point Declan Rice as well, they will sit down with the board, with whoever's manager at that point, I'm hoping Arteta, and say, this ain't working. I'm sorry. Man City want me. Madrid want me. And that's scary because we've been through that before, Arsenal fans, if you were around in the mid 2004 to 2008 era there, just losing all our best players. But anyway, what lost us the game today? We can have a look at the momentum here, and that shows exactly what I said, that the first half we absolutely dominated and should have been winning the game for sure. Ødegaard was first class in that first half. I cannot believe he was taken off. And then in the second half, it was definitely more evenly spread, I would say, possession-wise. But overall, Villa had the better second half. Simple as that. So it was a game of two halves. I think, okay, and I know a lot of Arsenal fans are going to agree with this, but why did we shoehorn Jesus or Trossard in? One of the two. I just don't understand why, since the turn of the year, we've seen Havertz play at number 9 so well. And even going back a couple of weeks now with Zinchenko getting more game time, why was Kivior dropped when it was working so well? I'm not sure why we've started today with Havertz in midfield, just so we can get Trossard and Jesus on the pitch. Just pick one. I really don't understand what Arteta's trying to do there. I was looking at the Villa team. I was watching their system in action. I was thinking, there's obviously been a discussion about Havertz needs to start. Where does he start today? If we want to get Jesus in and we want to get Trossard in and Martinelli needs minutes, let's put him in midfield. There has to be a reason they've done that, and I couldn't for the life of me figure it out. It doesn't make any sense to me. Start Havertz at number 9 and Jesus on the left. Trossard comes on as a sub, or the other way round. I think Jorginho was a must today. And although when he came on, we didn't necessarily improve that much, I just strongly feel like if we could go back 2 hours and just start Kivior left back, Jorginho in midfield with Rice, Havertz in the number 9 role, and then Jesus, Trossard, Martinelli on the left, it would have been a different first half, and I think we would have scored. But of course, that's hindsight. It's ifs, buts, and maybes. I just don't quite understand what Arteta was trying to do today. And it sucks that I'm criticising him because he's obviously got a lot of things right this season. But today was an absolute stinker. And also, I don't like this, okay? 67 minutes into the game, it's very late to be making your first change. Obviously, if you're doing a triple change, I can understand that you're trying to change a lot of things, okay? He's done a double change 67 minutes in, but clearly by kind of this point here, I remember thinking about 55, 60 minutes in, that's where I would probably look to make a change. It was just too late. It was too late. This sub here, Jorginho should have been on the pitch from the start, but I would have also brought him on here in the 67th minute, if anything. The Tomiyasu sub didn't make sense to me. Ben White didn't look... He wasn't having a bad game, put it that way, so I'm wondering if there's some fitness thing there, maybe picked up a little bit of a knock, but I don't think Tomiyasu improved us whatsoever. Martinelli, I mean, the same really, didn't really add much, but I can understand that sub 100%. But the weirdest one was Smith Rowe for Ødegaard. It was quite literally a straight swap. I can't speak. A straight swap. Ødegaard was obviously in his usual role, and Smith Rowe took over. And it was 3 minutes of madness when Villa got their 2 goals, but on one of them, it's Smith Rowe running back and defending because Zinchenko was literally nowhere to be seen, and we need to talk about him. And Gabriel and Saliba were caught going forward a little bit because, of course, we're chasing the game at that point. We're 1-0 down. We have to win. Liverpool lost today. We have to take advantage of that. And they've scored a second. Misery compiler, done. But should we talk about Zinchenko? Because it is concerning now. I think that you can always expect some players to have a dip in form, but it's costing us, isn't it? The thing with Zinchenko is he isn't a left back. Okay, we all know he's not really a left back, and he always ends up moving into midfield. And on, I'd say 7 out of 10 occasions, it works quite well. But when it doesn't work, my God, we get absolutely destroyed down our left side. And it's just not, it's not a reliable choice to make, I don't think, when we're chasing a league title right now. Kiwior, who isn't a left back. We don't have a left back, which is concerning, of course. But at least with Kiwior, we don't have him drifting into midfield and lacking not just the pace, but I think sometimes awareness. I'm not saying Zinchenko is a stupid player, because he's not. He's an intelligent player, but he, I think, on his mind is always looking for that little bit of space in midfield, and then he's looking forward. It's never, what if we lose the ball in the next few seconds? What's behind me to my left here? What danger are we in if I'm not in the correct position here, or if I lose the ball, if someone else loses the ball? It's always very, I need to move into my area of the pitch, which is that left central channel, and then I need to look for space to ping the ball into, and he's very good at that. But it just worries me, because whenever we lose the ball in this situation, and obviously Rice was not in that number 8 role today to cover if Zinchenko messed it up, because Jorginho wasn't in. So it just created a massive void behind Zinchenko. And on that second goal, that was prime reason for Zinchenko to be dropped, in my opinion, because it's a luxury tactic, I think, being able to throw a left back onto the pitch but effectively play him in midfield. When it works, it's great, but when it doesn't, it's not great. And Gabriel wasn't having his best game today, and he normally covers this whole left side himself, but I just think Kiwior should have been there. I think Kiwior would have been the much better shout today. We're coming up against a rapid Diaby, and we all knew if Diaby came off, it would be Bailey. And, of course, who scores their first goal? Bailey. Who's not there? I think that pretty much sums up my thoughts. It's just a really disappointing game. It really is, because with Liverpool losing today, and obviously everyone's laughing about it, and Liverpool dropped points, bottling it. But again, I've been caught out. I should have waited. I tweeted, yes, Palace. So I wasn't really celebrating Liverpool's downfall so much, but obviously alluding to that, it was just well done, Palace. And then, of course, we've been outdone by a very good Villa side today. Well done to Unai Emery, who, of course, would have had a point to prove. He's a fantastic coach, and no matter what you say to me, he was awful at Arsenal. You can say, oh, he should have kept on to it, whatever. No! Did you not see the mess we were in when he left? Conceding 30 shots to Wolves at home? No! It didn't work at Arsenal. It was too early for him, maybe. I reckon now he'd have probably a better chance, and especially with the squad that Arteta's built. But why am I even mentioning him coming back? It would never happen in a million years, and Arteta's going nowhere. So I just wanted to say, well done to Emery, because I'm sure he'll feel very good about that, although he's kind of ruined our chances of winning the league. But, you know. And also, big save from Martinez in the first half to deny Trossard, I think it was. Trossard? We should have been going in at the break, leading the game. Simple as that. But 32 games in, guys. We now only have 6 matches to go, and we are 2 points behind the team that always do it. So it isn't over. We've still got 5 goals on them, goal difference-wise. It really isn't over. But slipping up at home to Villa, for me, that just... I mean, looking at our fixtures, I wouldn't have said this was the one we would drop points in. I would have actually said maybe Wolves away. I've got a feeling that Old Trafford, even though we're going to smoke them, we're just not going to get the result, because we just never do at Old Trafford. And I just hate that fixture. So I really do fear that whilst this could just be a slip-up, it's just the first slip-up. There's probably more to come. And we just have to hope that both Liverpool and City slip up as well. But the odds are low that City will slip up. I think they'll be absolutely astonished that both teams have lost today, and they'll be very happy, because they now know that's it. All they have to do is do what they do, win games. Right, ruin my weekend. Thanks, Arsenal.